Does this exercise make anybody think of anything? We were talking about it yesterday. When you do this exercise, what part of you moves first?
Center.
Anybody else? Yeah, the lower part of you. The lower part of you is calling the upper part of you. Yeah, we talked about that a lot yesterday with the techniques like Nikyo and Sankyo and so forth. You know, the upper body is just a reflection of what's happening below you. Yeah, not being initiated by the upper body, but being initiated by the lower body. We stand here all the time when we do this, and the lower body moves, and then the upper body follows. The upper body moves, and the upper body follows, and then we go and do techniques, and we do this, and the lower body stays still. Yeah. So just when you're doing the Taisho, think about the reason that you're doing it and how it relates to whatever you're doing when you're doing technique. Yeah. It's how the action, the function of the connected body works. Okay. I'll give a quick explanation of what I'm going to do next. So we're just going to do the exercises from 2005 again. So right arm out 45 degrees from the body, left arm out just like this. Soften your knees, yeah? So what I'm actually thinking, when my arm goes out here, I'm imagining like somebody's trying to pull it, or it's stretching out. And instead of me making resistance against it, my knees soften against it. So I sink my centre here against the force of what I'm imagining out here. So if this hand was to go out from my body and there was no vertical force through my centre, then it would be easy to pull me off balance. So I'm always trying to hold that sensation of being centred as I'm doing this, yeah? It goes out, I go down. Hand goes up, I go down. All the same kind of theories fit together, yeah? So you're trying to create this sense of two opposing forces in the body, yeah? So we'll start with the left. Now the next one is I'll take my right hand and touch my left shoulder and then throw my right hand out to the right side and then let it drop. The left is the same, left to right shoulder, out, drop. Okay, starting on the left. The next one is relatively easy. The hand just goes up here, but the important thing is to not let your weight transfer onto your right foot. So as your right hand goes up, you have to imagine your left foot is pushing down. So don't allow yourself to go over to the side as your hand goes up. Yeah. Once again, this is two opposing directions in the body rather than going to one side. Right, so we'll start. The next one's similar to the last one, but when the hand goes to the right shoulder, to the left shoulder, the right hand goes out 45 degrees from the body, so it's not pointing to the side, it's out here. Yeah, and then it drops again. So 1, 2, left, yeah. Okay, the next one is the winding one. So as the hands wind inwards, the knees soften and the stomach softens and the chin goes out slightly. So I was catching some people yesterday when we were doing the technique. So the chin, don't force it. So don't crane your neck, push your neck out to do it. Just, it has a feeling of going out, not overstretch it, just out. And then when you're coming up, the chin has a feeling of pulling back in, but not like this. So the movement is, once again, it's about 2/3 of the distance that I could pull my neck backwards and forwards, and it maintains within the centre space of my body rather than this and pitching the body off balance. Okay, so we'll go down first, yeah. Next one, I just want you to kick your feet out in front of you, just nice and gently like this. Yeah. Just flick. It's a flick. So don't hold tension in your feet. What you're trying to do is just flick like you want to flick snow off the end of your foot or water off the end of your foot. So you're trying to just flick it out, not it's like kick. Okay, the next one is the foot goes out to the side. Here. This, like you're in some kind of chorus, in Paris. That's the action. So left side first. And the next one I want you to do is clench your toes, this, and try to pull yourself across the mat just by moving your toes. And just stop. And then just let your body hang. Just here, just relax. Don't really try to touch your toes, just let your body hang nice and gently. And then up. You're trying to unfold yourself. And walk with your toes again. Stand with your legs a little bit wide. And just try to follow along, right? So my hands are going to go up out the front of me, here. And as they do, I'm going to soften my knees. Yeah. So, one. And so what I want is this vertical energy, I want to match it with what my knees are doing. So I'm not doing this and then doing this. They go at the same time. So the rate of sinking from my knees and the rate of rising from my hands should feel equal. So then up and hold it, and the hands are going to go out to the side. And leave the sensation of the hands being out at the side, leave that sensation in your elbows and bring your hands in here. So keep your elbows pointing out there. And then from here, the hands are going to push out from the body, and as your hands go out from your body, your stomach is going to pull in. And from here, just bring your hands around like this and stand back up. So what we're doing, we're starting to get this feeling for 6 directions of force in the body, okay? Stay together. Together. Okay, stay together. So, this is an exercise. What I want you to do is I'm going to walk backwards and Mitsuki's going to come towards me. And then at some point in time, I'm just going to relax. Again, back. What I want you to feel is this point here. I don't need to push, no strength, just my body relax. Yeah, push. Okay. Notice that I'm here, not forward, within my centre. So I'm not, as Mitsuki comes, I'm centering myself by using T-step, and then I'm not reaching out. Here. Here. Please be soft. Ukes, don't resist the technique. Yeah. We were talking in Denmark about trying to change the feeling of the connection between the uke and the nage. So I'm going to demonstrate to you how I do uke for sensei and how I try to keep the communication between the two of us. So I'm going to alternate. Yeah. So down, down, down. Yeah. So I'm trying to have a conversation with him. Yeah, let's keep attacking the center. He takes my center. I bring myself back to the center. If you ask him here, I haven't done this. I'm here still. What's the feedback I'm getting? Down. Still trying to communicate. Okay. As you get better at it, you start to feel strange things happening. If your nage doesn't quite know what they're meant to be doing. So come in, technique happens here. We're here, and then suddenly the person decides to pull you. So as he pulls, because I'm trying to keep the centers connected, as he pulls again, suddenly he doesn't have any space. So the space he took off me has now evaporated. And what do? He has to re-establish the center. Better. So what ends up happening there is the person ends up fighting you, pull you harder, push you into the floor, and the technique should be cut and down, like between your feet. Just keep taking the center, stay in the center. But we're like, oh, he's on the floor. Oh, he didn't fall the way it looks in the book, so I'm going to pull him or push him to get him to that position. But I don't do it on purpose. Because I'm trying to maintain this. Yeah, now push me this time. So he pushes, goodbye. My space, my space, my space. My centre to your centre still. Ah, good boy. So I'm not resisting, I'm having a conversation. And I'm telling you that it's not polite for you to turn your back on me. Or it's not polite for you to push me around. or to pull me to do something that you want me to do. So when you are in the center, just stay in the center and just go down. This is really important to your development in everything that you do in your Aikido. The other thing that I do is when I'm the nage, if my attain is to want to get up and move away, say I finished the technique here, just walk away from me, mate. See how my hand's still on me? Because it's still my center. Okay, you go. You'll see me do it to Mitsuki quite a lot. I don't lose the connection, so it's not like this, and I do Ikkyo, and then it's like I did Ikkyo. She's going that way, you'll feel the energy drift, that's fine. Down. Session's over. I stand up. Still. So I don't go just down, and we go down, and down, and I go, Ikkyo, cool. Because we're trying to maintain the dialogue between the two of us the whole way through the conversation. I know in the modern world it's like, oh yeah, how's your day? Good, yeah, ring, oh sorry, fuck you. But we want to try to change that relationship in Aikido, so it's not, don't break that. Everybody knows what I'm talking about with that, blah, blah, blah. Oh, that person's more important than me? Yeah, okay. So again, down, 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 up, up, together, together, here, stop here, yeah, off you go, up. It's like two magnets, positive and negative, and it's pulling all the time. It's attractive force all the time. It's the relationship we're trying to build is that. That's why, as Uke, we soften ourselves, because it's a communication between the two of us. And over a period of time, the process changes your understanding of what you're doing with your training. But if you never get to the point where you're aware of this communication level, then your Aikido will just hit a wall and it'll stay there. And then one day you'll be old and grumpy and sore instead of, the path is there if you're willing to walk down it, but it's really important to try to establish that level of communication. So change partners, we'll go back to Ikkyo. This time I want you to be talking to each other without using your mouths in the technique. Okay? It's still not there, guys. The conversation's not there. Okay? So do you want to explain to everybody what that feels like? How much resistance do you feel?
There's no resistance. But the uki is very much there. So it's not a nothing, they're not...
So that's the description. I'm there, in the present moment, with a job that I have to do. Maintain connection. Because quite often the relationship becomes the nage and the uke, and the tori, that becomes a relationship. You know, oh, you're doing this job, my job is to fall over for you until I get a chance to learn. But I would say to you, you just gave up 80% of your chance to learn. And 30 years down the track, you're going to be 80% of learning behind somebody who has understood this concept right at the beginning. So there's no resistance, but there's constant attention to the job at hand, which isn't to knock the person on their ass. And that's the problem, and I just realised it when I was talking to Jonathan and Sarah. They both said, it's unique. And I'm like, shit, am I the only one in the world that does this? Like, or in my dojo, you know, is this the only place that this happens? I feel really sad. Or I'm completely wrong, and somebody else here needs a bit of temp done in Aikido Yuishinkai. No? So, again, it takes a lot of effort to be a good uke. It really does. It's not a simple thing. There's a whole lot of self-sacrifice that has to go on, and a whole lot of giving up your ego that has to go on in the process of what you're trying to create within your own Aikido. So without this, you can't, you know, progress to your own kind of levels of understanding. You get to a certain point and it'll just stop there, I promise you. It's a mental decision as much as it is a physical ability, because we were doing it really slowly, and it doesn't have to be fast. It just has to be right all the time. And it's not about resisting. So you're not laying on the floor going, fuck you, I'm not giving you my arm, I'm giving you my arm, I'm not giving you my arm, I'm going to kick you in the nuts, I'm going to pull your hair, blah blah blah. Those things that I demonstrated with my time were just to give you examples of what I was feeling inside myself. 99.9% of the time, I don't follow through with that. I just internalise that feeling. Ah, they pulled. Ah, okay. Or, oh, I just got pushed. Oh, I could have just gone with that. I don't, but I register it in my mind. Yeah, because that's what we're trying to do. It's this biofeedback. Yeah, my body's trying to learn all of these things. So if I block that feedback and I never have it, then I'm never going to be able to replicate it at some point in time in the future if I need to. When I'm being the Nage and I need to have that biofeedback to be able to do something. Yeah, so it's like putting it away for a rainy day. But if you never have the conversation, you're never able to pack anything away. Does that make sense? Yeah? No? Shut up? Yeah. Anyway, try again. Try to communicate. Again. We may not have lunchtime today. We need to get this right. So, down, right? Then I bring my centre up and I move my centre forward. And then I'm like, oh, hang on a minute. Oh, the uke feels a bit stiff. I might help him out. Oops, guess what happened then? I don't have the centre anymore. So what will happen is this person will go, because they just got upset because their splendid technique just got fucked, literally. And so the ego rises up and goes, but if I pull a little bit and the space is taken off me, then this foot can moon shadow, and then I can take the space back. Just re-establish the centre. Don't have to fight. And now I've got the centre back. I go, okay, we're going to just lay down. Fucked is the technical description of bad ukemi. Look it up. How much strength is in my arm? None. Because the intention is coming from my centre. Notice I'm not looking at my fingernail polish. or looking at that person's very nice legs. Ooh. You missed me.
I missed it.
Yeah. What do you mean? When you cut,
Yeah.
you missed me. And so you took my arm,
Yeah.
and you didn't have the centre, so we were about to have a wrestling match.
Oh.
No, we weren't, but I felt it. What I was saying is, this level of feedback will assist you if you establish it later, when you are the Nage, you will feel that. Oh, hang on a minute, his centre drifted off me. It drifts off straight away. I was just doing it with Brian. Like, straight away he felt like, oh, hang on a minute, the centre drifted away. How do you know that? Oh, because I'm a good uke. Because the centre is the centre. And as soon as the attacker goes, this is the one I like the most. When the attacker, I'm going to attack you. And they go like this. This is my centre. Or they do this and then they resist. And then they get up and they go, like they do something like this and they go, I can hit you. And their centre's pointing there. And your centre's pointing straight at them. And you're like, you failed physics at school, didn't you? Generation of force in a line versus whatever the fuck you're trying to do. Yeah, it's not about that. We're not having an argument. We're trying to learn. Yeah? We also talked about the fact that we start our Aikido changes because we compensate for ukes. And the uke goes, oh, you know, like, you just smacked me in the teeth with my elbow. Sensei, we were in Kendall and somebody was doing Shiranagi with me, and we went over to Sensei. He goes, can I ask Sensei a question? When we got to Sensei, he goes, when he does Shiranagi, it hurts. You know what Sensei's response was? Move. So that's the thing, like, so we start to go, all right, I'll just play with your arm, Peter, because that's more comfortable for you as an uke. Instead of, all right, so when I'm doing the technique on you, you feel tension in your body. Where you feel tension, that needs your attention. Not mine, your attention. So try to remove it. Maybe you need to bend your knees a little bit more. Maybe you need to do a bit of stretching with your arm. Maybe you need to go and see a psychologist. I know one. There's a whole myriad of things, but we change it because it's not comfortable. And then so that change ends up being what we do because we've done it so many times for people that didn't want to learn to be a good uke. That it ends up changing the nature of what you do. And then all of a sudden you have some fucking big Aussie coming across the ocean and going, what are you doing? And everybody's looking at me like going, he's wrong. When he goes home, we'll go back to doing what we were doing before. I've seen it happen a million times. Anyway, try to feel this. Once you start to sense it, even after just 5 or 6 times with Brum, he was like, oh, the centre's off. He knew straight away. Oh, how did you know that? Oh, yeah. Really? Simple. All right, begin. Communicate, connect. I'll change the technique. Sorry. Arigatou gozaimashita. Lunchtime and then Moru Kenny.
Yes.